Hey everybody, it's Saturday afternoon and I've been sitting around the house bored to death. I'm still dealing with my strained muscle in my back, so there's not a lot I can do, but I am a little more mobile than I was a few days ago, and it suddenly occurred to me I threw my minnow trap back out last time I emptied it and I forgot all about it. So it's been out there for a few days now, and I really think I probably ought to get down there and check it. So this video is going to be another little quickie. We're just going to run down the street, see what's in the minnow trap, and probably bring back whatever is in there, because despite having had a whole lot of minnows in this tank not long ago, a bunch of them have been killed or died off for whatever reason as they've died. But we're actually down to a fairly small school of the minnows again. So whatever's in the minnow trap, we're just going to go ahead and collect it up and bring it back. So sit tight, and I will see you right down the street in just a minute. Alright, let's hope it's even still down here. It's been here for, I don't know, 3 days now, something like that. Yep, it's still down there. Let's see what we got in it. It looks like somebody must have been through here emptying it out at some point. So we only got a few crayfish and a couple of minnows. And there's still some bait left in it. Not sure why this crayfish seems so listless. Oh, there we go. Alright, I don't see any reason why not to throw it back. It's still got bait in it. If you're wondering what I'm using for bait, that is actually some old Spam that I had in the refrigerator. So we've got 3 crayfish and 2 minnows. And this minnow actually doesn't even look like the Creek Chub. That is actually a little sunfish. Didn't know there were sunfish this far up in the stream. So that's actually a little sunfish right there. Which I was just talking about getting rid of out of the tank. So we don't need to bring that one home. And then this one, I believe, is just a regular old Creek Chub. So we'll go ahead and bring him home too. So not as much as I was expecting, but at least somebody else got to make good use of whatever had been in there, and I can always come back tomorrow and see what else we collected. So I'll see you guys back at the tank and we'll get these dumped in. Alright everybody, no big ceremony here. We're just going to go ahead and pour these right in. And now the crayfish will just sort of make their way around, explore their new environment, figure out what's what and who's who and all that stuff. And of course the Creek Chub we put in here is probably already swimming amongst his brethren here in the tank. And then that's really all about there is to it. You see that piece of wood being moved around? It's by that one crayfish is literally lifting that whole piece of wood just to crawl underneath of it. So I've mentioned before in videos how crayfish will definitely rearrange the decor in your tank if you don't have it really stable in there. And in fact, I've mentioned before, when I set this tank up, I knew there was going to be crayfish in it. So not only did I put some egg crate plastic in the bottom to prevent the large rocks from coming in contact with the glass, I also made a point to explain that I put the rocks in there first. Oh, I think that's our new Creek Chub hiding right there. Not necessarily where I'd want to be hiding if I was a Creek Chub, and right next to that Mayan cichlid and crayfish creeping up on me. I'm pretty sure that's the one we just caught. Still a little freaked out and a little hiding. So what I did was I made sure that I placed all of the rocks in the tank first, and they were good and stable, so that if you removed all of the substrate, the rocks would still be standing in place. And I did that because I knew I was putting crayfish in this tank, and I know they're diggers and little construction workers that move stuff around constantly. And here, exactly as I predicted, although in this case it's because of that Mayan cichlid moving all of the gravel around, we're down to the bare bottom right there, and these rocks have not budged. And you could do that with every single rock in this tank. If you were to magically just poof all of this gravel out of here, those rocks would not move an inch. They are not sitting on the gravel or nestled down into the gravel at all. They were all laid in there first, and then the gravel was put in afterwards, and that ensures that they are all very firmly and stably attached in the tank. And if nothing, if anything gets in there and digs and burrows and moves stuff around, all of those big rocks are going to be safe and stable. And that big fish we just got a little bit of a look at darting through there is my Chinese algae eater, which is still doing very good in this tank. You can see some clear patches on the back glass where it's starting to work its way through all of that. The rocks are nice and clean, the woodwork's getting all cleaned up. So at least I put a good use to that, or put that Chinese algae eater to a good use in this tank. He's definitely doing his job of getting it cleaned up. So that was just about it. A little touch up here on the tank, a little catch up here on the tank, little new additions, nothing real specific otherwise to talk about. So hopefully I'll get caught up on a little bit of stuff I got to get done down here today in the fish room. I'm way behind because of my aforementioned back injury, but I am trying to get caught up. So make sure you're subscribed, and hopefully any of the videos I get done today, if I can get any done today, you won't miss them or anything else. And don't forget, this one is my native tank, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.